about game time. Bring the pain time.
They can't stop you! They can't
to see you at our next home game. Because everyone who attends will get their very own Benny the Bull t-shirt. We want your time at the arena to be enjoyable and incident-free. If you are having an issue at any time that needs to be addressed, please take the word "bull" along with your issue and seat location to 55555. A member of our guest relations team will respond and address your concern immediately. Bulls fans will get another special giveaway at our next home game. The first 10,000 fans will be getting their own Bulls calendar. And don't forget our bobblehead giveaway day. Come to the game, bring the family, and get a free Benny the Bull bobblehead.
A reminder, we hope you come and join us for our training today. The first 10,000 fans through the arena will receive a training contract.
Up next, the Bulls taking on the... Welcome everybody to another presentation of the NBA Live on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan along with Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony. On the sidelines, it's David Aldridge. And a moment now to check out who the Warriors have coming up on their schedule. On Wednesday, they'll be matching up with Andre Drummond and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Then on Friday, they'll take on Karl Anthony Towns and the New York Knicks.
And the matchup against the Nuggets seems like the season's flying by, as that's already their 10th contest of the year. Pecking order in the league starting to take shape.
So with Wiggins sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. Up front, it's Green at the 4 with Jackson Davis at the 5. MP out there with Curry. And it's Kuminga in at the 3, the small forward. And we have to mention, Greg, the utter dominance MP has shown recently, right? A huge scoring night for him on insane efficiency. The numbers, you can't even believe what you're reading.
You just don't see stat lines like the one that MP had very often. Kevin, it looked like he had a cheat code on the way he was making everything from the floor.
And with a few games in the books, Greg, what's the key for coaches during this part of the season?
And Kevin, if I were a head coach, I'd be trying to nail down my best 5. NBA games are mostly decided in that final 3 or 4 minutes. So I want to know who I can trust when it matters most.
And so White will bring it up for the Chicago Bulls. It's a 5-point game. Levine kicks to Lillard. Pass to Vucevic. Clock at 6. Vucevic is screen on Curry. White. And that one comes up a bit short.
Well, if you have the space, you have to take that shot. He missed it, but he's trying to keep the defense honest. Well, this offense is off to an outstanding start. They're communicating, executing, and finding great shots.
Here's Lillard following the basket by MP. Lillard the pass to Vucevic. Bulls moving the ball around. Levine dishes to White. Here's
played each other like all day, not even in like terms of just trying to get better, but just because we thought it was.
For NBA fans, early season games are so entertaining to watch, Grant. What's your favorite part of the early goings?
You know, BA, take your pick. Rookie development, team chemistry building. Plus, you wait all off-season to see how your team measures up. And now, we get to find out.
On the floor for the Warriors. Inside, it's Green next to Jackson Davis. Stephen Curry is out there with MP, and it's Kuminga in at the 3 spot. Three-pointer, Buzelis counted from distance.
Defensively, you have to stay connected to him on the perimeter.
We'll go now to Allie LaForce, who spoke with Billy Donovan. Allie.
I asked him outright how he planned to deal with Steph Curry. How does anyone...
each other, you know, talking trash to each other or whatnot. And like as that goes, you're playing like some of the best.
Well, we know, Greg, early on in the year, teams still trying to figure out their rotation.
And it takes time before you find the rhythm you're looking for. Coaches will mix and match units to see what works best, with the thought also of the postseason.
So with Wiggins sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. Up front, it's Green at the 4 with Jackson Davis at the 5. MP out there with Curry. And it's Kuminga in at the small.
Every day they're your friends. So then you go online, like you have ultimate confidence. You're like matching somebody online. Like, because the key in the court, you have to win by 30. Really.
Too easy. Different for every season, showing me.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here in the first. Well, Coach, we're still very early in the NBA season. When you were coaching, what was your focus around this time?
Early in the season, Brian, really in the entire season, but especially early, you just want to try to be getting better every single night, making the corrections from one night to the next, and just keep growing as a team.
On the floor for the Warriors. Inside, it's Green next to Jackson Davis. MP is out there with Stephen Curry, and it's Kuminga in at the 3. Here's White. His last outing, he had 20.
And they're going to play 94 feet of defense here. They're going to try to make something happen with the full court press.
And Lillard gets it to go.
Inside, Lillard can deliver. He's a skilled finisher.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Just a bit ago, Billy Donovan and I were able to chat. And no surprise, Steph Curry was the topic of conversation on how they'll defend Steph. Coach laughed. Is there a way? I mean, this guy is not just a shooter. Steph's ball handling, his passing, it's what makes him an all-time great. It's always a pleasure to watch Steph Curry, and we get another chance to tonight. Guys.
And Allie, thanks. Here's Levine. It's rebounded by Golden State.
Well, give credit to the defense for cutting him off. Normally, that'd be easy points for him at the rim.
Back to Allen. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Curry. MP's got 17.
A massive reason they're winning. This guy hasn't missed a shot, not one.
Levine passes to Lillard. Up top, Vucevic. Clock at 6. To the paint. Tries from 6 feet. And the basket good. A bank shot that time. He's got 5.
It's those kind of passes that bring up the entire team's confidence.
Green, the pass to MP. Back to Green. Now Curry. And the Warriors tack on 2 more.
This squad can't do anything wrong. They haven't missed one yet.
The Bulls trail by 15. And Green comes to help. White, the pass to Lillard. No one near him. The rebound by MP.
Almost too wide open there. That's like a warm-up jumper for him.
And you look at Matas Buzelis. Size, touch, feel for the game too, Graham.
Oh, B.A., he's a connector. We all love seeing those offenses where the ball doesn't stick. He's a guy who'll keep things moving.
Now here's White. Pass to Vucevic. Good work defensively by Jackson Davis. Vucevic against MP. Fires the 3.
Hey.
Richard, with this season just underway, how long do you think it takes for a player to mesh with his new team?
It really depends on if you have a previous relationship or not. You may go to a team with guys you know, you'll mesh right away. Or it may take a little bit longer if you're a bit unfamiliar.
So with Wiggins sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. Up front, it's Green.
I'm an all-star team, far from a rookie, Louis Gray.
And so in the game for the Warriors. Inside, it's Green next to Jackson Davis. Stephen Curry is out there with MP, and it's Kuminga in at the 3. Year after year, this early portion of the season is characterized
to win. It's like you have confidence to be a player by 30 once you're playing like some of the best players in the world.
Are there any specific player cards that helped carry the workload when you were winning?
Yes.
So with Wiggins sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. Up front, it's Green at the 4 with Jackson Davis at the 5. Curry is out there with MP. And it's Kuminga in at the 3 spot. Greg, is a player, how long does the excitement of a new season last?
I'd say it starts to wear off right about now. You got to start bringing your own motivation to every game, and you need to provide your own energy.
Here's Levine.
And they've gone to the full court press here, looking to make things as difficult as possible and maybe force a turnover or two.
Well, offensively, that's what you want to get. Vucevic from point-blank range.
Here's MP. After the made shot from Nikola Vucevic. MP, good.
Hard to believe you could have this kind of a flow. Unbelievable.
Last outing for Golden State, they won that game against the Kings.
Yeah, I think they prepared to face more defensive pressure, and that one didn't happen, and boy, they just rolled.
And you could sense the difference in energy. They were keyed up, jumping on mistakes. They just outworked them.
And with an update from the sideline, let's check in. Bulls trail by 18. So with Vucevic on the bench, here's the group that Billy Donovan has on the floor. They've got Bones Highland. Williams is out there with Dosunmu. Then it's Jalen Smith. And it's Lillard in at the point. MP to the rack. And Allen slams it in.
Look at how swiftly MP moves to the rim there.
Chicago's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. They double him with Green. It's stolen by Green.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
Well, the thing about hitting early threes, it spaces the floor and makes things a lot easier offensively.
And I've really liked how they've moved the ball tonight. Because of this selfless approach, they are piling up the assists. And to me, Draymond Green really embodies the idea of a high IQ player. He can read the opposition, predict where a play is going, and those instincts aren't something that can be easily taught to anyone.
That one misses. And when you talk to people about the Bulls, GA, Michael Jordan's shadow still looms large over this team and organization.
And Kevin, they haven't won a championship before or since he was in Chicago. They've had
got Patrick Williams, Damian Lillard out there with Bones Highland. Then there's Ayo Dosunmu, and it's Smith in at the center position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
Okay, young man. We see you, MP. We know you for real.
There's the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, capturing the moment. All right, we've now got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. He's got a special report. Shams, it's all yours.
Well, guys, teams are all grappling with this new CBA, especially the dreaded second apron. Fans possibly unclear on what it means. Honestly, even front offices are still navigating the complexities of the new restrictions. But basically, it has become harder for teams to spend big and acquire new players under the current systems. We'll see, guys, how this impacts everyone moving forward.
Something to keep an eye on, no doubt. All right, Shams, thanks a lot. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Kings played some superb basketball. He ended up with a jaw-dropping amount of points, and his assist numbers were unreal, making his teammates very happy. Really just a phenomenal performance from him. Here's hoping we see more of the same from him in this one, guys.
Yeah, he was unstoppable during certain stretches. It'd be great to see him top that performance tonight.
Well, his team needs him to contribute. When he's on his A game, he just makes play after play.
Expect them to go to him early and often. Don't want...
2 minutes now played in the second quarter. Jalen Smith is out there with Williams. Then it's Dosumu. Then it's Bones Highland. And it's Lillard in at the point guard. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. And on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam, you can see how impressive that move was. Analytics or the eye test? The optics or the numbers in front, Greg? When you're judging the performance of a player, what kind of criteria do you use?
Well, an MVP candidate recently said, my eye test tells me this guy's a terrible defender, but the analytics tell me he's a great defender. I'm confused, and I often feel the same way.
It's time now to hear from
the best it's ever been. Right now, it's Dark Matter, Magic Johnson at the point guard, Invincible Kevin Durant at the 2, Invincible Giannis.
Because Jay White just produced it.
Ain't never gonna play.
Ayo Dosunmu out there with Williams. Then it's Smith. Then it's Bones Highland. And it's Lillard in at the 1. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. And the 3 off target.
I'll tell you what, they've rebounded the ball tremendously well.
Grant, when you talk about consistency and officiating game to game, you think there's room for improvement?
You know, I do think so. I mean, they're allowing more contact, but overall, more clarity on what constitutes legal guarding position would help players and officials.
A chance here to catch up with Allie from the sideline.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Kings played some superb basketball. He ended up with a jaw-dropping amount of points, and he also dished out plenty of assists, something we're used to seeing. Such an impressive effort. The team relied on him, and he delivered.
Great report there, Allie. It was obvious he could do anything he wanted. A fantastic win.
Well, I'll tell you, he was enjoying himself out there, kind of like us here in the broadcast booth. And whoever was matched up against him wasn't enjoying themselves.
Yeah, well, winning is usually fun, especially when you have it going like he did.
And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Pick by Smith. Lillard against MP. Lillard can't get it to go.
Yeah, we're not used to seeing him get bottled up like that. Wow.
Here's Allen.
Enough to pull him. Then I got 100 raw Shaq at the 4, and then
they've got Bones Highland. Dosumu is out there with Williams. Then it's Jalen Smith. And it's Lillard in at the point guard. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. And eventually, every player, GA, has to grapple with age, realizing they've lost a step or two against the young fellas. And sometimes, that is a very slow realization.
Oh, it is, Kevin. Hopefully, by that point, it's less about financial security and more about prolonging the inevitable, simply for the love of the game.
Here's Highland. Last time, 14 points for him. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, DA?
Hey, guys. MP in the last game against Sacramento played superb basketball. He had an impressive number of points. And as usual, he orchestrated the offense with superb passing. And those are big numbers he put up. It's hard to match. But he'll be aiming high again tonight. Back to you guys.
Thanks, David. Yeah, it was a special night for him. The team really fed off his energy.
Yeah, the catalyst for that win, it was an effort that I'm sure he's hoping to replicate tonight.
And it's very likely that he and his guys can carry that momentum into this one.
Now, here's Lillard. His last outing, he had 18 points. And it's good, 2 points.
Yeah, that's outstanding. Tremendous vision on the part of Lillard, just trying to lead this team.
Allen passes to Hield. Golden State moving the ball around. On the wing, Hield. 6 to shoot. Outside Curry. Shoots over Highland. And Curry the bucket on the assist by MP. 21 points for Stephen Curry. And so Lillard will bring it up for Chicago. Their last game a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
And the bench turned up in that one. Whatever they couldn't get from their starters, they got from the reserves.
For a number of reasons, depth seems to become more important every year.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
And he makes that one. MP's got 32 points.
And he has flat out taken over this quarter. Keep feeding the beast.
But the three players that stood out to me throughout the year is Wemby.
And they're going to play 94 feet of defense here. They're going to try to make something happen with the full court press.
We've got Damian Lillard, Patrick Williams out there with Smith. Then it's Bones Highland, and it's Dosunmu in at the small forward position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Brett, we're starting to see more players throwing alley-oops to themselves off the backboard. Did you ever do that?
In practice, maybe, but although I had some leaping ability early on, I never had the audacity to do it in a real game.
And so it's Highland with it. He brings it up for Chicago. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Kings was all business. He ended up with a jaw-dropping amount of points, and he was dealing assists all around. What a game for him, and against their rivals, no less, which had to make him feel extra special. Guys, back to you.
It really was some night for him. He couldn't have been much better, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., there was nothing they could do to contain him. Once he got rolling, it was game on.
Sometimes you can just look at a guy and you see the confidence that he's playing with. That's what I like best.
And a new group getting ready for Chicago. Nikola Vucevic is checked in for Smith. Buzelis comes in for Williams. Levine, he's checked in for Dosunmu. And it's White in for Highland. Jackson Davis is checked in for the Warriors. Council comes in for Hield.
I love it. In attack mode, drawing foul calls this quarter and getting to the free throw line.
Lillard outside. Again, the miss by Lillard.
You have to credit their effort. I mean, they've done an amazing job on the glass.
Pass to Curry. Lillard against Allen. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Curry. Curry's got 3 assists tonight.
MP stretching out the defense.
Chicago's gone 7-15 from three-point range tonight. They're not afraid of that shot. The wingmen, White and Levine. Vucevic is out there with Buzelis. And it's Lillard in at the point, so that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Now the Warriors moving it up. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, guys, MP in the last game against the Kings. He's got the job done. He scored an incredible number of points, and his passing was a cut above, with a ton of assists on the night. A mind-blowing effort, one that's going to be hard to repeat, but it's hard to bet against him. Kevin?
Okay, David, thanks. It'll be interesting to see, Greg, how much of that performance carries over to tonight.
And, Kevin, different scenarios call for different measures. I'm sure he'll just try to provide whatever they need for the win.
Well, I'm sure he's coming in with a lot of confidence after last game. He wants to have...
Another one goes. Incredible.
And game after game, he just elevates beyond what the defense can handle.
In terms of career 50-point games, he's almost second all time.
And who's in second right now? His airness, Michael Jordan. What an honor to be mentioned alongside him.
Outside, White. No good again that time.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
MP outside. Here's the 3.
Diamond, his opal, he probably has like.
She gon' make it.
Well, Grant, you were an excellent defender in your day. So who was the toughest player you had to guard?
Well, there were so many great players. Michael, LeBron. But let's talk about the late, great Kobe Bryant. I mean, he really had no weaknesses. And even if you defended him perfectly, there's a good chance he can still make the shot.
So on the floor for Golden State, they've got Stephen Curry. Jonathan Kuminga is out there with Trace Jackson Davis. Then it's MP, and it's Council in at the small forward position. All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Kings was all business. He dropped an amazing number of points, and he made a lot of shrewd decisions with the ball, which led to a hefty assist total for him. A virtuoso performance that will be remembered for a very long time. Brian?
Okay, Allie, thanks. Well, that was an incredible night for him. They rode him to that win.
And he was more than happy to carry them, B.A. He might still be feeding off that performance heading into this one.
And it's very likely that he and his guys can carry that momentum into this one.
Now here's Levine. Pass to Buzelis. White with it. Here's Lillard. Boy, clanks that one off the back iron and it falls. Lillard's got 19 points.
He's known for the long ball, but Lillard every bit as effective in the mid-range.
Curry passes to MP. Back to Curry. Allen outside. Shot clock at 6. Hits a three-pointer. Kuminga's got 6.
Wow, 5 consecutive threes. This defense looking very frustrated right now.
They double him with Curry. Outside Levine. Vucevic finds Lillard. Vucevic, a screen on Allen. Here's Lillard.
Rings alone. Secondly,
I used to think.
It feels like every season, Brent, we set a record for pace in the NBA. Why do you think that is?
Well, I don't know, Kevin, if it's every team that's seeking pace, although in every coach's press conference you'll hear about them talking about playing faster and wanting to get out in transition. But that's where you take advantage of defenses most. Look, if you got a young team, open up the floodgates and let them run. Probably more success coming your way.
The wingmen, White and Levine. Buzelis out there with Vucevic, and it's Lillard in at the point. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Hey guys, MP in the last time out against Sacramento played superb basketball. He scored an amazing number of points, and his passing was phenomenal with a ton of assists. He was remarkable in that game. Not often you see a player that dominant, and I'm sure he wants to keep it going. Guys?
Excellent, David. Thank you. Greg, how impressive was it watching him completely take over?
Unstoppable. They won that game because of his effort and just his overall relentlessness.
Yeah, going up against a team that had no answer for him, we'll see if it plays out the exact same way here tonight.
Here is Lillard, following the three-pointer by MP, and he gets it to go. Lillard's got 24 points.
Feels like the other 4 guys have disappeared at this point. He wants to be the one to get them back.
There's 39 seconds left to play in the first half. White and Levine are out on the wings. Buzelis out there with Nikola Vucevic. And it's Lillard in at the point guard position. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls.
He's going off this quarter. A huge reason why this team is on top.
Now here's Allen. Non-stop scoring machine right here. That one is off. Fires for 3. Curry's shot is off. And Levine has got the ball here for the Bulls. Coming into this, having notched a win against the Lakers in their last game.
Great offensive game plan in that one. They put their guys in positions to succeed, and it really paid off.
And that was the kind of win a coach takes pride in. You lay out the strategy, and the players execute perfectly.
And just executing at a high level. I mean, taking what the defense allows and putting in the work.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
MP getting it done for the Golden State Warriors. Scoring, passing, imposing his will at the offensive end. We're coming right back. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome, everybody. The story at the half could be summed up as a dominating performance for Golden State.
Well, we all saw it. They've blown this game wide open with the three-point shot. The defense is scrambling, but look, this is where they felt they could get their points.
Yeah, teaching floor spacing 101. We'll see what class is like coming out of intermission. And now, not a bad time to take a look at the schedule ahead.
Well, right now for Chicago, you expect this game to go down to the wire, and if it does, it'll be good for the coaches to see who performs well late in a tight game.
Invaluable information, no doubt. And that's a wrap on halftime. Thanks for watching as we send you back to BA to call the second half.
Just about ready for the second half here. A big comeback is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Hey, you look at MP in this game, he's been everywhere.
And given that he's just delivered a double-double through 2 quarters, I'm excited to see his stats at the end of the night.
Well, he's already put in a full day's work. They might want to lighten the load on him in the second half.
And so in the game for the Warriors. Inside, it's Green next to Jackson Davis. Stephen Curry is out there with MP, and it's Kuminga in at the 3, the small forward. And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Kings was all business. He had an unbelievable amount of points, and his passing was huge in that game, finding ways to involve his teammates. He was really special in that game, and they're hoping he can repeat that kind of performance tonight. Guys, back to you.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how much of that performance carries over into this one.
His goal is to provide whatever the team needs from him on that particular evening.
Well, I'm sure he's coming in with a lot of confidence after last game. He wants to have a repeat performance here tonight.
All right, Stan, if you had it your way, who would you want to see in the dunk contest?
Well, Brian, look, I want to go back to the glory days when the most recognizable guys in the game were the ones that participated. Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins. I think if we could get guys like Zion Williamson, Ja Morant, that would be fantastic, but it's got to be the names out there that people know.
Levine draws the double. Chicago has gone 1 of 2 shooting from the perimeter since halftime. White looking it over. Pass to Lillard. 6 on the shot clock. And a nice finish on the layup. Lillard's got 26.
And you see why he's one of the top scorers in the league. Lillard does it in so many ways.
Here's Allen. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. And this will be his 3rd and 4th free throws of the game here.
At the line for the Warriors, MP taking 2 shots.
That free throw good from Allen.
You know, so far, I'm pretty impressed with MP's attitude. He doesn't seem like a young hothead. He knows he's got a lot of work to do on his game.
He's off on the second. That grab, despite the Warriors' success over the last decade. It hasn't always been this way for this franchise.
Yeah, they didn't have many winning seasons before they got Steph, Clay, and Dre. And you know, BA, from 1978 to 2012, they made the playoffs just 6 times.
And the basket by Curry.
He's been so aggressive on offense, and with the results, you understand why.
Well, yeah, and the defense is going to have to respond to that and chase him off.
Secondly, Dr. J, his pink diamond, he was.
Now here's Lillard. He's got 26. And Greg, you think about what they call float game. Why does that one shot earn a nickname like that?
I mean, it's a badge of respect, right? The floaters, teardrops, whatever you call them, runners, often the finishing touch to an already well-developed offensive arsenal.
The wingmen, White and Levine. Buzelis out there with Vucevic, and it's Lillard in at the 1 spot. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Hey guys, MP in the last game against Sacramento played superb basketball. He scored an amazing number of points and made everyone around him better with his passing, with a whole lot of assists. Just a fantastic night for him, the kind he wants to have every night.
On the floor for the Warriors. Inside, it's Green next to Jackson Davis. Stephen Curry is out there with MP, and it's Kuminga in at the small forward position. Well, Grant, we know non-shooting big men can clog the paint, but if they know where to move off the ball, that certainly helps.
Yeah, you know, big men who know those circle actions, like flashing to the open spot when their man gives help, they often, and again, getting to the 60 mark in a game is just, it's incredible. I mean, most Hall of Famers haven't even done this.
And he's approaching the 4th most 60-plus point games in a season. Pass to Buzelis from behind the arc. Warriors with the rebound.
They've shown the power inside. Their rebounding effort has been sensational.
The 3 from Curry knocks it down from distance. Curry's got 9 points in the quarter.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have been threes.
And a vital mission for the NBA, mental health. Commissioner Silver has said it's the most important issue for the league.
And I applaud Adam for those comments he's made about it. I mean, the season is so difficult. It can really take a toll on your mind. So it's great the league is trying to help players out through this.
Well, if he's hitting shots from there, he becomes so much more dangerous.
From deep, MP.
The wingmen, White and Levine. Buzelis out there with Vucevic, and it's Lillard in at the 1 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Greg, you look at the great coaches. What are 1 or 2 of the most important qualities for success that you see?
Well, for me, Kevin, I think you got to be able to adapt tactically. I mean, that's huge, and especially in the playoffs. But most important, can you motivate and unify a locker room? That leadership quality is what really puts a coach over the top.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Hey guys, MP in the last time out against Sacramento played.
In the beginning of the year, he had like 10 rings. Same with Michael Beasley. His pink diamond was big for me, and I currently have his dark matter off the bench now.
I like the mixture of cards. What upgrade?
White and Levine are out on the wings. Nikola Vucevic is out.
I'm a baller. Get my car.
Takeovers do you like to utilize, or badges, for example? Like, what are some of the things that really help you find?
My gang, they know who we are. I'm a baller. Solitary stones, my ring.
The wingmen, White and Levine. Vucevic is out there with Bruce Ellis. And it's Lillard in at the 1 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Greg, we know about the Euro step, but is the D-cell the next move that's getting more notice?
I think it is, Kevin, and you can see players have quickly incorporated that into their arsenal. It's been fun to watch, man, and I tell you, it creates some uncomfortable situations.
And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. MP in the last game against Sacramento played superb basketball. He scored an amazing number of points, and as usual, he orchestrated the offense with superb passing. Those were ridiculous numbers he put up. We'll see what he has in store for an encore. Can't wait to see. Kevin?
Yeah, David, he was in attack mode all night long. GA really propelled them to that win.
When he's on, he is on, and there isn't all that much you can do to stop him.
Sometimes you can just look at a guy and you see the confidence that he's playing with. That's what I like best.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Yeah, pretty infectious right here. Guys in good spirits, and percentages from downtown on the rise in the second half.
Now, here's Lillard. He has 31, and it's blocked.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
MP finds Curry. Back to MP. Launches a 3. Yet another bucket.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposition. Three-pointer, Lillard. The three-pointer is right on target. Lillard's got 10 points in the quarter.
This is not a player who likes to be trailing in any game. That lights a fire.
Allen passes to Curry. Back to Allen. There's the 3.
Utilizing these cars.
I figured this out like midway through the year.
White and Levine are out on the wings. Bruce Ellis out there with Nikola Vucevic. And it's Lillard in at the point guard position. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Looking at lineups around the league, Grant, seems like they're becoming more positionless than ever before.
Yeah, you're spot on, BA. To the point where some people feel all-star voting shouldn't be by position anymore. It should be by merit.
Gives us a chance to catch up with Allie LaForce.
Well, MP in the last matchup against the Kings played some superb basketball. He dropped an amazing number of points, and he made a lot of shrewd decisions with the ball, which led to a hefty assist total for him. He was such a difficult matchup in that one. We'll see how he follows it up tonight. Brian?
Well, it'll be interesting to see how much of that performance carries over into this one.
His goal is to provide whatever the team needs from him on that particular evening.
Well, I'm sure he's coming in with a lot of confidence after last game. He wants to have a repeat performance here tonight.
Back to Allen. On the wing, Curry from downtown. And the Warriors with another 3.
They're getting torched on the perimeter.
Every year, Greg, we get a new batch of rookies into the NBA, and sometimes we're all guilty of judging them too early.
Oh, absolutely. I think we need probably 3 years to evaluate a player. You know, fans and media can be a little harsh at times, but not everybody develops at the same rate.
The wingmen, White and Levine. Buzelis out there with Vucevic, and it's Lillard in at the point. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Tipped away. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Thanks very much. MP in the last game against Sacramento played superb basketball. He had an impressive number of points, and his passing was phenomenal with a ton of assists. A performance like that.
White and Levine are out on the wings. Buzelis out there with Nikola Vucevic. And it's Lillard in at the 1. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. And there have been a few teams lately who have been stockpiling draft picks, Brent. What do you think of that approach?
Well, B.A., if you look at the success of the draft, you're kind of 50-50 on whether or not you're going to get the talent that is required to win a championship. So getting multiple bites at the apple is a great strategy for teams to try to build the foundation of a championship caliber.
Making some changes. Highland comes in for Zach LaVine, and Lillard subbed in for White. And a new group getting ready for the Warriors. Booker, he's checked in for Highsmith. Council comes in for Moody. Hields checked in for Stephen Curry. And MP subbed in for Pajemski. On the floor for the Warriors, they've got Buddy Hield. He's out there with MP. And it's Koloko in at the 5, roaming the paint. And so it's Highland who brings up the ball for Chicago. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Nets. And that game will conclude a 4-game homestand for them.
And showing why he's so respected around the league, Lillard lighting it up.
Allen, the pass to Booker. To the inside. Here's Hield. And again, another assist.
That makes 15 assists.
He has been one step ahead of the defense all game long. For 3, here's Lillard. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
Here's Koloko. Good, and the assist goes to MP.
They have no answer defensively inside.
And we're about 2 minutes into the 4th now. Ooh, stolen by Allen. And the shot goes in. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Warriors.
You have to be a fan of the energy they've played with on the defensive end. Active hands and feet, and it's come up big a few times for them.
And I feel like another part of tonight's game has been the hustle points, getting up and down, getting second chance.
You never forget your first.
So with Wiggins sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. Allen is out there with Hield. And it's Council in at the small forward. You know, Stan, when I think of you as a coach, I think defense. So let me put you on the spot as you assess the wing defenders in the NBA right now. Who are some of the top 2 or 3 that you notice?
Well, look, there's so many good ones. My favorite right now is Lou Dort because he's so strong, he's so disciplined, and he has an amazing ability to use his body even against guys that are a lot taller. He is a frustrating guy for great scorers to play against.
Now, he brought a lot to the NBA, but haven't the Thunder done a good job developing that kid?
Well, they have, and Look, they've got other great defenders, too, like Jalen Williams.
Lillard with the bucket.
Well, sometimes you tell players, you can have a good game in a loss. You've just got to keep doing what you're doing, and the rest of us have to figure it out.
And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a three-point play chance here for him. And that sends MP to the free throw line. It's on Damian Lillard. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
Well, they've been hitting threes at a high clip, and the defense hasn't done enough to challenge them at the line. They need to close out and run them off the three.
And also, guys, they've been showing how dangerous they are in the open floor. When they see a chance to get easy points, boy, they just jump at it.
Now here's Lillard. Jamison, a screen, 6 on the shot clock. No good from outside.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Here's MP. Golden State moving the ball around.
The 100-row Michael Jordan came out.
In love with my, that must admit I got a gun.
Well, RJ, you got traded a couple of times for good reason. What's it like off the floor?
I don't need your quips, BA, but it is crazy. You get a phone call and bam, you can move across the country. And while it's hard on you, you understand it comes with playing in this league and having this job.
So on the floor for Golden State, they've got Buddy Hield. He's out there with MP. And it's Booker in at the 4.
They've shown the power inside. Their rebounding effort has been sensational.
Pass to Allen. Outside for Booker. And here's Allen. Now here's Hield. Back to Allen. 6 to shoot. Right side Booker. Golden State needs to get off a shot. Allen finds Booker. Three-pointer off the mark. And so it's Levine with it. He brings it up for Chicago. Next matchup, they'll be home against the Nets. And that'll be the finale in their 4-game homestand. And the Warriors with possession. They're on a 16-5 run. And got it! Another basket!
90 points! A legendary performance!
We will be talking about this one for a long, long time. The shot by Lillard, no good.
He's been off this whole period. Unable to sustain any kind.
Levine and Williams up in the forward positions. Dosunmu is out there with Damian Lillard. And it's Jamison in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group on the floor for Chicago. And Greg, you talk about toughness, a compete factor. How does a team create that culture?
Call it critical mass.
Oh, yeah.
Golden State has gone 1 of 2 from deep in this quarter. Stan, LeBron James is widely regarded as one of the most intelligent players in the league. Who else stands out to you as far as basketball IQ?
No, Brian, that's a tough question. There's so many of them. Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic. There's just so many intelligent guys in this league. Fans that think it's all about athleticism don't understand how intelligent the best players are.
So on the floor for Golden State, they've got Buddy Hield. He's out there with MP, and it's Koloko in at the 5, roaming the paint. Hey, Grant, when you look at the mentality of today's players, what are the differences from back in your day?
Well, B.A., through the wonders of technology, players interacting more directly with their fans and telling their own stories. Also, there's a brotherhood. It's a bit more brotherly, with players on different teams more friendly than in days past. And, you know, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Vucevic, he's checked in for Chicago. White comes in for DeSumo. Both shots good from the stripe. And Grant, with the 65 games rule for player awards, it did seem there was a real reduction in load management.
Yeah, B.A., and I liked it. The stars played more early on, but we also saw a lot of them get banged up by the playoffs. So it seems there's still a balance to be struck.
Lillard with the bucket.
Well, there's no question he's carrying the load in this quarter, but he's going to need some help.
Allen, the pass to Booker. Allen with it. Here's the 3.